Welcome back. If you are a new subscriber, of course, to the channel, thank you very much. If you've been watching these videos and my restoration videos, I do appreciate you guys coming back. So today I'm offering another for sale watch. This is a really distinct and unique watch amongst the Seiko line. This was the first sport diver that Seiko ever made. It's actually distinct in a few ways. One is that it has the styling, exactly the same kind of styling as a 6105 8000. It is a really interesting, I would call it almost a transition watch. It goes between the older style, like the Silver Waves and the GMTs of the Olympics, in fact, to a more modern style that Seiko produced. And the reason I say that is actually due to the case back. So one thing you'll notice on this case back is that the serial number has an extra digit. And so this is when they were deciding whether or not they would go with a 6-digit or a 7-digit serial code. And so you can see this one has a 7-digit. It is a 1968, and so September of 1968, 6105, 6106, 8100. It's a proof, so waterproof, and of course proof on the dial. This watch came to me in a collection that I'm going to actually review all the watches I got in the collection that I'll share with you all. These are kind of cool. They are very similar in a sense to the early pre-Willard 6105s. They don't quite have the depth rating, but they have all the cool and unique features of that. Lume on the dial and hands, of course. You get an extra complication, if you will, or maybe even 2 extra complications if you're thinking about it as an early replacement for a 6105, the 6105A. This is a 6106B, which means it hacks. But it also has day and date, which is kind of cool. And the set for that is kind of neat. So let's actually get away from midnight. Okay, so we're in a good spot here. So quick date is, of course, the push, and that's another thing that makes this a non sort of professional diver, is that there's an inward push. You don't want to do inward when you're diving. You want everything to be a remove or a lock. So the quick day is kind of a little trick. And so what you'll see is that the date, of course, will click over, and then it's a one language day wheel, and it clicks over just before 2 a.m. But now if I go backwards, you'll see Monday will snap because it's spring loaded. Boink. And now if I go just past 11 o'clock, now I can go back, and if I get close to 2 a.m. again, I go to the next day. The date doesn't change, but blink and forward. Now it's Wednesday. So this is an English only wheel, which is quite neat. Again, hacking and really quite lovely. Now the dial on this is really good considering its age. It has some slight imperfections that are very hard to even pick up. It has one little tiny mark right here. But otherwise, it's really clean. The case itself is gorgeous. The case lines are so sharp. I mean, they're literally sharp here. No polishing ever done. It still has a lot of its, I would say all of its original brushing on the top. It hasn't been rebrushed. This is a non-clicking spring-held bezel. It's just a really clean, really honest watch. I reloomed this watch because the loom had suffered not from water, but from just age. It had cracked and sort of looked a little bit, didn't look quite right. But I went ahead and put a new loom in here. So if you want a loom watch, I usually don't reloom watches unless they're past the point where, some major fraction of the loom within the watch has gone south. But yeah, it's been reloomed. So really great watch. I have it on a Speidel flat vent, which I think looks really great on these. I think it looks great on everything dive, so I've got it on my Willard, for example. But these are really nice. Anyway, if you're interested in a slightly less pricey, but perhaps slightly more functional 6105 early diver, I would say the 6106 sport diver is a really neat pickup. I mean, 7-digit serial code, really nice luminous hands, luminous markers, just a beautiful watch. This thing is running great. I've serviced the movement, put 2 new jewels, one in the upper, one in the lower mainspring arbor port. Those are our custom-made jewels that we've partnered with Spencer Klein on, and so they're really nice and made in the USA. Anyway, it's a great watch to consider. If you're interested, I put a link in the description below to the website where you can purchase this watch today if you really want it. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching, and let me know if you're interested in a great little sport diver. All right, thanks again.